I am very delighted to introduce our first guest, Moses Aurelius, filmmaker, visual artist, and photographer. How you doing, mate? Welcome to Adobe Live.
Yeah, hey Flynn, hey everyone. Yeah, it's good to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on.
I'm very excited because I was following you for quite a long time, and then we were introduced through some of our partners and people that we work with, and then here we are. So I'm really excited to get to know you today, and yeah, just pick your brain a little bit about your creative process. So it's going to be cool. And you're in Sydney as well, I can tell, because you're all rugged up like me. It's pretty cold today.
Yeah, mornings are pretty cold, so yeah, I am a bit rugged up. But yeah, all based in Sydney, but yeah, I do travel around outside Australia every now and then. But yeah,
Mm.
most of my work is done in Sydney.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, we were chatting just before we went live about all the places that you've been. Yeah, lots of traveling around Asia, Southeast Asia, and everything like that. I know you have some photos from Korea that you're going to show us, which is really great. So yeah, I'm pumped. But yeah, should we just get stuck into it? Because there's so much to go through because you do lots of different things. So I'm going to share your screen now because we have Lightroom Classic open here, and you've got all this work. While I'm sharing this, would you mind kind of giving us the little elevator pitch of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so basically, yeah, everyone knows me as Moses Aurelius. Yeah, as you said, photographer, videographer, filmmaker. I don't know. I wear a lot of hats and do a
Yeah.
lot of things, but yeah, I like to think of myself as just mostly taking photos and videos, and I really like adding like a visual storytelling element to them. A lot of people use the word cinematic, which I guess gets
Mm,
used quite a lot these days, but I think it's a good, appropriate kind of term to describe my work.
mm,
Yeah, I like having essentially like stills look like movies, or even my own videos looking like movies, because movies and TV shows are a huge kind of inspiration to what I do and how I kind of like look into doing my work. Um, and yeah, my background isn't actually really in photography or anything like this. I didn't study it or anything like that. I actually studied science,
oh
so
wow.
I was
Okay.
a forensic scientist
Mm.
before all this. So I did that, studied that, was in that field for like 5 to 6 years, and then yeah, just somehow transitioned into doing this to a full time thing.
Okay, that's cool. Wait, I want to pause on that. So, was that a gradual thing? Because I feel like this is like the photographer's journey. The photographer's journey seems to be, hey, I was doing this like completely unrelated field, like this other complete thing, and then I enjoyed photography and somehow got into doing it professionally. So, just yeah, quickly, like, how did you do that? Was that a gradual thing where you just kept shooting an event, or did you just like cut the cord and then one day you're like, no, I'm no longer a scientist. I'm now a photographer. How'd that happen?
It was pretty gradual for the most part. And I kind of did that on purpose because yeah, I wasn't sure if this is gonna work, if I could make this possible.
Mm,
So yeah, I was working full time in my field in forensics. Yeah, did both like lab work and worked in the field. And well, the whole reason I started enjoying photography was because that'll be part of my job. So I'd photograph evidence, photograph the crime scenes, things
right.
like that. And that was kind of like my favorite part of the job. Like I really like documenting things, showing a story, like in a sense, even though it was a different kind of purpose and reasoning, but
Mm,
nonetheless, like I just enjoyed documenting it and just shooting. So one day I thought like, well, instead of shooting, for work, like why don't I just shoot something else? So I
mm,
started shooting like a bunch of stuff. Like I started going to the park shooting. Whenever I go out, I go shoot. Going to the city and whatnot. And yeah, eventually I started seeing what I liked and what I didn't like in terms of shooting. So I gravitated more towards shooting at night, like shooting in the city. That just interested me more.
yeah.
And then yeah, like one thing led to another. Like started making an Instagram account, started posting my work. That's when Reels came out, Instagram Reels. So I started posting those,
Yeah.
and then yeah, kind of just grew from there. It was a very wild ride and crazy experience. But at some point, I was like, oh, well, maybe I can make this a full time thing. So
Mm.
eventually, like I said, gradually, I kind of like again went from full time to part time work, and then part time to casual, and now I'm here doing it full time. So
That's
definitely wasn't like I just cut the cord like okay, I'm quitting next week.
yeah.
I'm not that kind of person. I'm a very like conservative. I'll try and like lessen the risk, yeah, if I can.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it was obviously still a risk because it was a very like I was good at the job. Like I was considered an expert in my field,
Mm.
and I enjoyed the work. It's just unfortunate that I enjoy this more. So
Did,
I was very grateful that I could have been in two fields at the same time. But unfortunately, I have to pick one.
that's fascinating. I love that. That's not at all what I would have expected. I love the idea of you taking cinematic forensic photos as well and just being like, man, look at this. That's great. I'm sure that wasn't the case. I'm sure it was very official. But yeah, cool. So
Sure.
we've also got Benjamin Lee, Ichiban in the chat. Also TK North in the chat. We're going to be chatting to him soon on Adobe Live, which is awesome. I love photographer crew, like community. It always comes and supports each other, which is just awesome to see. Okay, let's get back to the photos. All right, shooting. Let's talk about still photography while we can, because we're going to talk about film stuff in a little bit. Yeah, like I guess I'll let you take over, but like this is like locations, I guess, are like a super important part to shooting, right?
For sure, yeah. So for the most part, I guess when it comes to night and whatnot, I might just show one as an example here. Let's say like this one, for example. Like lighting, I know lighting. People say lighting is really important, but especially for night, like it's super important. Because you really need those pockets of light in order to kind of like, yeah, not only shoot and target your subject, but to also kind of, almost like, yeah, shape the photo and shape what you're doing. Like so, for example, here, like there's a few sources of light here. It's like just those LEDs just behind, and then the traffic light here, and I pretty much just emphasize those lights. Um, and yeah, the reflections kind of help because it was raining, so like it's kind of like encompassing like a few little things. So like when I try and shoot, I don't just shoot like just one thing and then that's it. So like for this, I could have easily just shot in the subject and the umbrella and that's it. But I do enjoy kind of shooting the entirety of it,
Yeah.
just to capture the atmosphere, capture what's happening, as opposed to just, oh, it's just a person there and that's it. You know what I mean?
Totally. And I guess like what makes what makes a photo cinematic?
Good question.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not one thing. I feel like it's just it's and again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So
Yeah.
what one might consider cinematic, someone might not consider it. But I guess colors probably is an important thing. Like the kind of colors that you're looking at, especially for my kind of work. Like mine's very much inspired by like movies like Blade Runner, Matrix, The Batman, The Dark Knight. So very like dark, grungy. Even just describing them, you just in your head, you're like, okay, I can see
Totally.
the particular similarities they have, and I kind of just want to show that. But again, like different filmmakers, different movies have different styles. So that's just kind of one particular style. Other genres might have something else, but that's the kind of genre that I kind of gravitate to and get influenced by. So, and you can kind of, yeah, again, see it in the work that I have. Very much like, again, like a lot of grungy greens, but then like pockets of other colors.
Yeah.
And again, like, yeah, for example, this is a short shot in Korea that I did at night. And again, just encompassing those, again, pockets of light. So just those signage here. But then you get just enough light so that you can kind of show the rest of the image. Otherwise, like if you just start shooting at night, just randomly, chances are you're not really going to get, you're just going to get really dark areas and no one's going to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really important to search for that light. And then usually when there's light, there's subjects. So like you kind of just, yeah, you're almost like you're hunting in a sense. Like you're just hunting for that shot, for that right area, and you just stay there and wait and just see what happens.
So you might have like almost the whole composition, but you just kind of need a figure to stand in the right spot or a vehicle or something to kind of happen, and you're just sitting there waiting for the right moment.
For sure, yeah. Like I mean, sometimes it just happens and you just capture that moment as it is. Other times I kind of just wait and see, because I kind of see the potential of the photo. And the one thing I hate is going somewhere wanting to take a photo and then I'm like, oh, I won't worry about it, like I'll forget about it. And then it's like, oh well, what if I got that really good shot? This is probably a good example.
Right.
The shot I got here. So this street's usually quite busy, especially during the time that I shot this. This is in just off George Street in Sydney. Usually really busy. But then there was this one particular moment where, this woman was just standing there, just kind of looking out. And this was with the 7200. So I was actually quite far away, and I just saw her like in the corner of my eye. And like I didn't even think about it, because like in my head I'm like, oh, I already know how busy this street is. Like chances of me getting this again is very low. So I just went for it. Like I wasn't hesitating. I didn't even check my settings. I was like, I will figure it out. And then I shot it, and this ended up being one of my most popular photos. So it's whenever people see this photo, like I see it getting reshared a lot on socials. It's very much so like, yeah, my like, top 5. Like if I make a photo book, this is probably page 3 or page 4.
Oh wow, was that surprising to you? Like even when you went, oh yeah, this is post worthy. But is it surprising to you that some photos like kind of have that virality that others don't?
Yeah, I never know what I like and what someone else likes could be 2 different things, especially in the kind of world that we live in terms of like photography, film, like art in general. Again, it's very subjective. So even for me, like when I posted this, I didn't think much of it other than like, oh, like I really enjoyed this photo. Like it was really nice. It encompassed my style. So like when I posted it, I was like, oh well, I like it. So like maybe other people like it. I didn't expect that many people to like it. So that definitely wasn't expected. But again, like I'm quite happy that people saw something in it that even I didn't see in terms of like how amazing it really is. Cool. But that seems to always be the case. Like you always post a photo thinking like, oh, it's okay, and then it ends up going like super viral.
Right.
But then it could be another day where you're like, oh, this photo, this is amazing. Like I have to post this, and then does like average.
That was going to be my follow up for sure. It must work the other way around as well. We're like, what? You guys didn't get this. This is such a good photo.
Yeah. Like this one's probably a good example. Like I love this photo. Like I just the spookiness, the hauntingness.
Oh yeah.
Like that figure in the background, and then someone's like she's carrying a flashlight, but she's not. I think it's just a phone.
Yeah.
But when I posted this, I was like, oh, this is so sick. It's like straight out of a horror movie. And then it's like it just got like, oh, it still got engagement. Like people liked it, but I was just like, what? Like I think people don't love this. Like I love this.
Yeah.
But again, like it's so subjective. Like the world that we live in and photography in general. So
totally.
I never get like offended or upset. I'm just more like, it's a very, again, it's very diverse and variable field. So it's not a surprise to get results like this.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, we got a couple of questions, so we're just going to hit them up because I think these are great. Benjamin Lee has asked, is this a photo from your viral reel? And I realize now that was probably a few photos ago, right, Ben?
Probably this one.
Yeah, I think that one. Yeah, was the one he mentioned at the time. Yeah. So is that from the viral reel? And what's the viral reel?
So I mean, essentially just like a before and after. So what I pretty much did was I showed the raw version. So like I showed this version, right? So this is how it is when I shot it.
Yeah, it's different. Huh?
And then like I kind of did a few like different things. Like I showed like the color palette, and I showed like the before, and then I kind of moved around the color palette. So I split it up. Like it's just like a very simple animation, and then I showed this. So it was very like quick. Like this is what it is, and this is what it is before, and this is what it is after.
Yeah.
I did a lot of those, and a lot of those kind of blew up because people were, I guess, really engaged in the transformation that I have. Because I definitely don't do like simple edits. I think my edits are definitely more on the heavy side. And again, you can either like that or you don't like that. But fortunately, I have a following of people who do enjoy that. This is another one, for example. This is in Melbourne. This is how it was before and after.
Wow.
So a very Batman-esque edit, I'd say. Like this one was very heavily inspired by Batman.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is probably another one. So this was a very popular photo that I did. And again, I showed like a before looking like this, and then the after.
Yeah, wow.
So very, very simple reels for the most part. I mean, back then when reels first started, yeah, it's definitely gotten more, I wouldn't say competitive, but the skill set and experience people have is like times 10, times 20. Even to a point where like I'm there like, oh man, I gotta like really pick up my skill level now. I really gotta like match these people. Otherwise, you just become irrelevant.
Yeah.
So, but back then, like simple reel like that just popped off. Like they just worked.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's such an interesting like wave that we all ride with the algorithm and the social media changes. I've got another question. Willis, thanks for the question. They ask, do you favor different weather conditions or seasons? It's a good question. I like that.
That is a good question. Definitely rain. Like I love rain. It just adds another element to the environment, to the atmosphere. Unfortunately, it's something that you can't really control. So if it's there, you kind of got to be like, oh well, I got to go. Like I got to go and shoot it.
Right.
Um,
So it starts
but yeah,
raining. You're like, oh man, I got to get ready to go outside. Everyone else is doing the
yeah,
opposite.
yeah. Like, and unfortunately, like I'm about an hour away from the city, so it's like requires a bit of a journey to get there, but
Mm,
I feel like it's worth it. But then you also get days where like you're shooting and all of a sudden it starts raining, so you get a bit of luck, and so it kind of averages out.
mm.
Like for example, in my trip to Korea, I I think every single day was like sunny except for one. It was just pouring down rain. And that
Yeah.
one day I was like, oh well, now I have to shoot now. Like even though I was shooting for like every day, I was like, oh, I have to go out.
Yeah.
So again, I got lucky because I just needed that one day, and then I got all those really like amazing photos.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I guess you're getting the reflections from the puddles over there, and I guess does it add a bit of a glisten to like
Yeah, yeah.
everything? Is that why?
Yeah, I guess it adds, yeah, and plus the day kind of turns to overcast, which again suits my style in terms of how I'm
Right.
going to color grade it. Yeah, people coming out with umbrellas and stuff. Again, like it just adds another very interesting element.
Mm.
Especially when there's like multiple people with umbrellas, like can add a lot of chaos and whatnot. Yeah, to me it's just fun. It's just fun to shoot.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely rain. And I guess in terms of seasons, um, I'm not really particularly favoring seasons for shooting. I mean, I just like winter and autumn, just because I like cooler weather.
Yeah.
So I guess it's easier to shoot.
Yeah.
Because I really hate summer, like when it's like 8 o'clock and it's like 20 something degrees and you're
Yeah.
sweating.
Especially carrying all your gear around and
Yeah,
trekking
exactly.
and
Yeah,
walking
so I
all
guess for
day.
comfort levels, I probably prefer shooting in cooler weather as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I mean, do you have to have special stuff to like house your camera and everything in the rain? Like, is that it might be the dumbest question I asked today, but like, you have to protect your equipment, right? Like, you don't want to be getting it all wet, or is it all right?
For sure. So I mean, a lot of my lenses and cameras have weather sealing,
Right.
so I kind of do trust that for the most part. But at the same time, like I'm not gonna dunk it in water, or if it's
Right.
like torrential rain, like it's just like heavy rain. I try and avoid like kind of just having my camera out there, if that makes sense. So like I have an umbrella, like I have a raincoat, just try and cover myself and protect myself. 'Cause yeah, I gotta be practical. Like if I'm wanting to shoot for multiple hours,
Yeah.
I can't be drenched. So yeah, but for the most part, like I don't really have any, I would say, protective covering of my cameras. I mean, I think I've tried it in the past and just found it very distracting and it's just hard to shoot.
Mm.
So for the most part, I just take an umbrella, or I'll just camp at like certain areas where there's shelter and just see what I shoot. But usually, if it's like showering or sprinkling, like I kind of just not take the risk, but like I kind of trust the weather sealing in the
Yeah.
tech.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I think something else I wanted to kind of chat to you about, because we were talking a little bit beforehand about like collabing with brands, and we're chatting to a couple of photographers at the moment. We got TK on in a little bit. We had Makami a week or two ago, just around kind of getting noticed by brands, and I think that's kind of something we were talking about, kind of reels picking off, and like clients want reels, right? They want the engagement too. But when did you start kind of doing some work with Canon? And I know that I didn't even know this before we went live, but you've done some stuff with Adobe as well. So what would you say to kind of photographers or creators out there that are kind of looking to be noticed, or can you share anything about that kind of relationship with kind of these big brands that you work with, like you shoot and edit with, right? So
yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I feel like there's two ways to kind of go about it. For me personally, like I've never really like cold called or like went out of my way to work with brands. It kind of just happens naturally. And I think just I guess it's just part of just being open to work with brands in the first place. So for me, like I did a lot of maybe not spec work, but like I kind of just showed products in my videos just anyway,
yeah,
like just there. And that kind of got a bit of traction for brands because then they could actually see, okay, like how can we use Moses for our work? Because again, it depends on styles. Like I probably don't have the most, I'd say, brand friendly style compared to others. But at the same time, like I can fit things here and there, depending on what the product is or what the campaign is. So again, I think believing in your work and believing that you can work with brands is probably a good thing. I definitely thought it couldn't be possible. But after I got starting into popularity and people started noticing my work, my mindset definitely changed. Because it's not that I can't. I just got to kind of shape it in a different way, you know.
Yeah.
So even though I'm still sticking to my style and people still see it as my work, it's just for a different purpose, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely happened naturally. Even with Adobe. So whenever they've had campaigns, I mean, I'm just showing my work and the process behind it. So I guess that was one of the more easier collaborations I've had because
Yeah.
I'm just showing my work and how I did it.
Nice.
And I mean, I guess, and the thing is, when it comes to my work, I need the editing software and I need the gear.
Yeah.
So again, that's where like a brand like Canon comes in, because a very common question people ask me is what gear do you use? Like, how did you take this photo? What camera did you have? What lens? And I'm definitely not gear means everything, but I definitely think it's an important factor. Like, I think you can't just use any camera. I think you need depending on what you're shooting on, you need a camera that has at least a set of traits or features in it.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely still an important thing. And again, that's another way for me to work with a brand, because I can show them, you know, hey, with this lens, I can shoot this stuff. So yeah, so I definitely think, like, I know some people get afraid when working with brands because they think like, oh, I kind of have to change who I am, or I kind of have to like almost like sell out, and I don't think that's really the case. I still think you can, again, use your style, and like, and plus they want to work with you because of who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and what the work that you do. They don't want you, and or at least they shouldn't kind of just put you into like a different kind of project or a different atmosphere that isn't you. And you shouldn't do that, because again, people like you for your work. Depending on the kind of creator you are, maybe it's your personality that people like. So there's no reason for you to change. I think at the end of the day, if you believe in your work and believe there's potential to work with brands, you know, give them ideas, give them pictures, and you know, the worst they can say is no, or they might even say, okay, well, I like it, can we do this instead? And then you work with them on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that. And Dark Hours has just shared like this Adobe Canon offer we've spoken about before, because it's this new there are certain lenses and equipment that you buy from Canon at the moment, and then you'll get a full year of Creative Cloud for free, even if you're already subscribed to Creative Cloud. So you can check that out there. It's got a list of like all the gear and everything. But you did the reel, because we've been talking about reels. You did the reel kind of promo for this. So do you happen to have that handy that maybe we could check out and talk about?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that would be cool.
Now.
All right.
Before I play it, I guess I'll just give a bit of a backstory to it.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, as part of working with Canon, like I've obviously promoted some of their cameras and lenses that are coming out, but then I've also kind of worked with them a bit behind the scenes in terms of just not using my platform in a sense, but using my skill set and my experience to you know, make cool videos and whatnot. So for this one, I'll just start playing it now. As you said, yeah, we're trying to incorporate both Canon and Adobe in this.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So the kind of backstory behind that concept was, yeah, we heard the offer that was on place. So obviously, yeah, if you buy a Canon, a certain camera body or lens from Canon, yeah, you get a subscription from Adobe.
Yeah.
So and I did this alongside one of my friends called Will. So it is Will on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's a Canon ambassador. So yeah, working together on it was really cool, because we usually shoot together like every week, for helping each other out. But then this was our first time actually working together on a project.
Oh, cool.
So it was really a really cool experience to partner up with a friend, you know, on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're trying to think of ways to incorporate both brands, because you didn't want it to be like a 80-20 split or like a vice versa. Like we really want to show like, well, you need the camera to use the software, and in order to use the software, you need something to shoot with instead. So that's why I kind of came up with that split kind of story idea, where like one of us is shooting, the other one is editing, and you know, you're kind of getting that story where it's like, okay, well, you're getting the best of both worlds, because you're getting the Canon gear, and then you're also getting the Adobe suite to finish off your work, so to speak.
Yeah. And was that your idea? Like, were you approached? Don't know how much we can kind of give away, but it's like, are you approached and it's like, hey, can you come up with a concept? Or was the concept kind of given to you guys? Or like, where does that come from? Like, how much freedom did you have? I imagine you would have had to have something signed off, but Yeah. Where did the
For,
concept come from?
yeah. For the most part, I think for most brands I work with, usually they just give me they said the campaign or like what they're wanting to promote and
Yeah.
the reason behind it, and then I end up just giving them an idea or pitching them an idea, and then they'll like it or they don't like it.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, when I pitch ideas, it's usually like, oh, that's cool, let's try it. So yeah, it's very much so that they just give us the promotion or what's on offer, and then they come back and then they tell us, okay, well, what can you make from that? And then we go back, have a think about it, develop a pitch, and then we'll show it to them and present it to them.
Cool.
So that's usually how it works. I think it's very rarely where I've been told like I need to do exactly this.
Right.
Because again, it doesn't really, for me personally, it just doesn't fit my workflow and just kind of almost like putting a square peg in like a circular hole. Like
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think it's a good way to kind of work with creators or even artists in general. I think giving them that creative freedom is what's going to get that work to be unique,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much how the process worked. Yeah, they just gave us the promotion that what's on offer. We thought of this idea, went back to them, they loved it, and then we made it come to life.
Awesome. That's so cool. I love seeing that. And so I guess like that kind of takes us over like into kind of the realm of video and like video editing and things like that. I think we were talking about the circle, which we've been chatting a little bit about. Hey, Demis in chat, long time, buddy. So yeah, I love the photographers again, like showing out in force in chat. So awesome. But yeah, the circle I think is just a photo of TK. Did TK do that somehow? There we go. Cool.
No, I was going to show the
getting
the circle,
prepped. I was just reading his name in chat, and then like his head just popped over, and I was just like, "What?"
Very spooky.
That was amazing, spooky stuff. Yeah. So yeah, we've been chatting about the circle. Maybe you could talk a little bit about it. And I know there's mentors, and it's a community-based kind of thing that's happening with like physical events. I know a bunch of the events have happened. It's super cool. Dark Hours will share a link in chat for those that are interested that are watching. But you did this this video, is that right? I'll let you start talking now.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I'll just start playing the video as we're talking about it. But yeah, so when I first heard about it, the circle it was through Canon themselves. So they were explaining to me the concept and the thing behind it. So when they told me about it, I was like, oh, this is sick because we don't really have this in our community. It's like we have like events and stuff every now and then that you do like photo walks and things like that, but there's not really a thing where it's like every day this is happening, And in the case of the circle, like yeah, they have their own Discord. From what I gather, they're doing like very regular events and workshops. And yeah, when they were telling me this idea and this project they had, yeah, I wanted to help in any way. So I was like, yeah, like I'm down to help you guys. Like whatever you need me to do, get me on this. Because I think it's something that our community really needs. Because people always want guidance, they always need help, and to have it in like an official capacity like this, and in such a convenient way, like on Discord, like you can just access it on your laptop, on your phone. If you have a question, you just type it in, and then someone's going to answer it.
Yeah.
Even if you just want to have a conversation, you just start up a conversation, and it's just like that. So it was a really cool idea and a really cool concept. So again, for this, like they told me what they wanted, like how they wanted the project to be perceived, and that's how I ended up making that video. So like I want to incorporate the 5 mentors that they started with, each give them their time and essentially explain to them or explain to the audience what the circle is about and like why people should join it. So it was a really cool project. As you can see from these videos, like they're a bit different to obviously the photos that I take. But again, the style is still there. Like that storytelling element is still there, which is what I think is like a staple to my work. Like I always want to tell a story. So in this case, I wanted to tell the story about the circle, like what they're about and why they're there. So I feel like the why is very important. Same thing with the Canon Adobe ad. Like I want to explain to people why this is happening in the first place. Because once people understand the why, they understand the video, they understand what's on offer there.
What's crazy to me is just how quickly you can tell that story it's so impressive. I think like to do a successful reel where you can tell like a story in such a short amount of time when we know that people just are so quick like to scroll on and move on to the next thing. Are there any things you can share about like trying to keep people engaged with things like that? Like when it comes to reels? Why don't people watch my reels, Moses? Tell me now.
Yeah, it's Look, it's incredibly difficult. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to say it sound like it's something easy that people do, because you could feel like you have like all the elements to what a good reel or good video should be,
Mm.
and then it just flops. Or it just doesn't work out well. So it's a lot of like testing and seeing what works and what doesn't. Um, I think definitely like just as a general kind of guideline or something to help you with is those first 3 seconds.
Mm.
Like they're like so important, because if you lose them in those first 3 seconds, like that's it. Like that it's not coming back from that. And that gives an indication to the algorithm, like, well, this content isn't engaging because people
Right.
are swiping after like 1 or 2 seconds. So it's an indicator, right? Like the algorithm works based on indicators. So if they're not watching it, if they're not engaging with it, liking it, commenting on it, sharing it, those are all indicators that just show holistically, like, okay, well, this is going to work, so we're not going to share it to that many people. So I think starting off with those first 3 seconds, some sort of hook where it's just like really engaging. I'm actually show an example of a good one that I did just a few days ago.
Cool.
Um, I got it here. Yep, I got it here. So this is like a bit of a recent trend that's been happening. This like Snapchat kind of trend. Um, so this is like the first 3 seconds, and then it shows my photos after that.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like you can see the first 3 seconds are ridiculous because it's just me like doing something weird, but then it picks people's curiosity because the
Right.
first questions they have in their head is, "What's this guy doing? Why is he shaking his camera? That's not a normal thing to do, you know." And then I added that whole Snapchat caption as well, which again, like I said, is very, very trending at the moment.
Right.
And then that was it. So it's like it's actually a very, if you see, it's actually very simple in its
Right.
concept.
Yeah, if you break
Um,
it down, it's like, yeah, just a quick little video of you kind of moving your camera like a lunatic, and then it
exactly.
just like all the photos. But I guess you could watch it a couple of times as well, just because I might watch it back at the start, being like, yeah, well, I'm gonna watch it again, to like see what he did. So yeah, I guess that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
works. Yeah.
yeah. Because again, you're trying. I feel like there's like a fine line between like piquing people's curiosity, but not to a point where like they don't understand it at all. So in the
Right.
case of that one, like I was obviously shaking the camera, and then after that, you see photos that had that slow shutter effect.
Mm.
So like it kind of like wise people in their brain, they're like, oh, okay, so he did that for that purpose. Oh, but how do you do it? Like now I gotta watch it again, you know? And then it has that replayability. Or they might want to see another photo again because I was showing the photos in quick succession. So like again, like there's not a lot of thought process behind this when I'm actually making it. A lot of the stuff I kind of look back and I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense now because again, I don't have all the answers. Like sometimes I post stuff and it flops, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, well, now I've got to figure out why it didn't work out well.
Mm.
So it's very much, it's always a learning experience. Even this one, like it went well, so now I have to figure out, okay, well, what went well and what didn't. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
It's just ebbs and flows, man. It really is. Like even when I give people advice on this stuff, like I apply those same principles. Some days it doesn't work for whatever reason.
Right.
But you can't always make a hit. You know, same thing for any artist.
Yeah.
Like show me a musician that has like every single they have is like a hit. You know, it's just the way it works. Like some days just doesn't work out, other days it works out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess you got to keep up with the trends and the changing amount of times, and there's so much that goes into it, right? There's client work, there's personal work, there's all the different platforms and everything, and managing all that. It's not, time is fleeting. Well, that's really cool. So we've got a little bit more time. I thought we could maybe have a look at one of your edits, because you showed us that before and after, which was pretty wild to me. So maybe we could jump in and kind of have a look at a little bit of a breakdown
Yeah,
of
for
one of
sure.
your photos.
Yeah.
Feel free to pick which one you like.
Yeah, we can go for probably this one, I'd say, because I was referring to it before.
Cool.
So yeah, this was shot in Seoul, South Korea, about, I want to say 3 years ago. In terms of gear that I used the Canon R5 with a 7200. So yeah, this was back when I was using telephotos quite a bit, which is a bit unusual for street and travel, but I just really like the compression that it gives. Like even in this photo, you can see like everything here wasn't as how it was in real life. Like it's much more wider. So getting that compression, especially at 200 mil, was like very unique in my opinion.
And sorry, what do you shoot with now? Like, have you changed that you shoot with something a little bit less long? Is that right?
So at the moment, I'm shooting with the Canon R5 Mark II. So just upgraded version of the one I used to use. In terms of lenses, yeah, I am starting to shoot a bit more wide now. And to be honest, I'm not sure why that's the case. I feel like I've just gravitated more towards that like 24, 35 mil territory.
Right.
I guess it's kind of like classic like street photography focal lengths that they've used in like, decades ago.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm finding it easier to shoot more of the environment. So I'm focusing less on the subjects, more about like where they are. I guess
Right.
would be the reason. But and again, I feel like it's also a good idea to kind of excel or be good at like multiple focal lengths, multiple ranges.
Yeah.
So before I used to shoot a lot in like the 70-200 range, and I think at some point I was like, oh well, let's try like 50, let's try 35, let's try 24. So I feel like a mix is good. And that way when you show your work in like a carousel set or something, you can show like different focal lengths, and it's much more varied and diversified, so to speak. But yeah. So yeah, that was kind of like the background of the shooting for this one. And yeah, I'll show you the before just briefly. So this is the before and how it was, and then this is the after. So looking back, like actually, I don't think I added like one particular feature or one particular thing in this photo to make it look what it is. I think I just encompassed a few minor things and tweaked them, and then that's what it came to be. I found that my most popular, I'd say, photos have that kind of template where it's like it's nothing too crazy, but at the same time it's like kind of believable in a sense. Again, kind of like a movie. Like if you see how a movie is how they're shot, but if you see like behind the scenes, it doesn't really look like it. But once you actually watched it, you're like, oh well, yeah, I guess that kind of looks like real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really like blurring that line. Like I feel like once you're on that line, people just really like that look.
Yeah.
So even for the case for this, like when it comes to the colors and stuff, I don't really change the colors of the signage or anything too much. I only really just added, I think, some teal to the shadows, so you can see this is how it was before and after, and then just a bit of warmth in the midtones and the highlights. Getting that complementary tones, because if I made it just teal, I think it would have been way too cool and just would have threw it off the photo, so to speak. And again, I think a huge thing I do is masking as well. So I think masking is something that I always tell people to do, because it can make a good photo like great, but you can even make like a not bad or like an average photo like good to great. I feel like it's a really underrated feature in my opinion.
And you do all your masking in Lightroom? Like you don't go into Photoshop for any of that? You just do it all in Lightroom? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Especially now with like generative fill and everything being in Lightroom, like I pretty much only use Lightroom nowadays. Yeah. Whereas before I'd go back into Photoshop, do what I have to do, then go back here. But now I'm like pretty much on Lightroom. So I do appreciate the fact that Lightroom always gets updated. Like cool. It's such a I'm very, very grateful for that.
I like that. It's nice to not have to switch between apps. Like especially if you're doing something small.
At the same time, it is quite like fluid, which is why I like using the Adobe Suite, because you can just like go between one program and another. Same thing with like Premiere Pro and After Effects. Like if I want to make an After Effects composition, it's like just 2 clicks and you're in After Effects, and you can go back and forth. So I do like the fluidity, but at the same time, if I can just stick to one app, like that's also great too, But yeah, back to masking. So for example, this is how it was before the masking, and then this is how it was afterwards. So you can see quite a few like changes, I'd say. Probably one of the major ones are probably that pole in like the left corner here. Yeah. I felt like it was pretty distracting, so I wanted to kind of remove it just so it's not in the way. Especially because it's contrasting quite well with the background. Like it's just this white pole, so I want to get rid of that. And then I kind of wanted to add like a bit of a mist, a bit of a radial gradient over here, as you can see here. So just add a bit of highlights, add a bit of dehaze, I think, as well. Again, I just wanted to emphasize the atmosphere at the time.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like there's almost like a bit of a fog kind of coming through, like the
for sure.
The figures walking kind of into, really. And there was denoise or dehaze, did you say? Dehaze. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
And you can see like there's already a bit of light shining through now. So I kind of just emphasized it just even more and just made it a bit more consistent as the image goes down.
Is that something that might be something I'm picking up from you? Like it's more about emphasizing kind of what's there, less so adding things like artificially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess like you can say emphasizing. You could probably say exaggerating at some points too. Because again, I do I do go quite heavy with some edits. I will admit. I mean, but it's just what I like. Like
Yeah.
it's not something I justify. I just I'm like, oh, well, I like it, so
That's cool.
I'll put it in. But again, I think from doing all the masking, I feel like I've made the subject stand out a bit more. Whereas like before the masking, I think it's very much like you're not really sure where to look, because there's a lot going on, right? It's a very chaotic scene in general. Like you have the wires here, the signage. So I feel like the masking really just kind of, and again, its purpose is to fine tune parts of the image. So that's what I was doing. So like I said, the radar masks, I did another one here where I kind of just added like a light vignette so that you can see the subject a bit more. And then like another linear gradient here. Again, just like small things that add up. And then eventually you come towards this and you're like, okay, well, now I can see the clear vision. Like you have a subject here walking, you have the leading lines here, then you have this kind of atmosphere, this light shining here, and everything starts to make a bit more sense, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, again, like it sounds simple, but these are were like gradual steps to like getting the photo to what it was. It wasn't just like, oh, let's just slap on a preset and then that's it. There was a lot more to it. And I always tell people, like, when it comes to presets or even lots of videos, like, it's a great starting point, and it probably does like 80 to 90% of the heavy lifting. But that last like 10 to 20% is where your like skill and where your style kind of should be there. Otherwise, it's going to look like every other photo. So like, you really want to make it your own. Like again, like I could have easily just left it like this and then that's it. But then I don't think it would have resonated as well with people.
Yeah.
Whereas creating it like this, just adding that another 20 to 30 minutes of work can really do you wonders and can really pay off in the long run.
Yeah. And obviously the masking is going to be different in every single photo, like completely different. So
for sure.
You need to have that
I do a lot of like radials and linears for the most part. But when it comes to like situational stuff like the pole and stuff, that's just more of like your eye and like what you think is appropriate to do. But yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown for this. I really like this photo, and again, like I posted it not thinking much of it. I was like, it was one of my favorites looking back at the trip, but then I didn't expect it to get the millions of views that it did. So
yeah, wow.
But I mean, it's nice. I'm glad people liked it.
That's cool. Well, I mean, we're almost out of time, but like, so how many photos do you take? I always hesitate to do this with photographers because the answer is always hundreds, but thousands. But yeah, where are you at? Like, are you trying to do you feel like you get the shot and you keep going till you feel like you've got it? Or do you kind of go a bit ham with the, taking way too many?
I've taken less as my experience has grown. So before I was very much so like a quantity over quality guy. It's like I really just shot like as much as I can, like in the hundreds, maybe in the thousands for like one day.
Wow.
Like going, continue like continuous like speed on my camera. So like you just hear it like just rattling off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was looking for that word, burst speed. That's what I was thinking.
Burst speed. That's it. Burst shooting. Yeah. I used to do that a lot, but then I just found out like I'm just sifting through so many photos and like most of them aren't really that great, and it just felt like a waste for the most part. Whereas nowadays I'm definitely picking and choosing the moments that I shoot. And I think it comes with experience. So like if I know that that's not a good shot, if I see the lighting's not right, or for whatever reason I just don't like it, like I'm not gonna shoot it. So like I don't tend to hesitate that much.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like I would do that a lot. I'd be like, oh, is that worth shooting? Oh, I should probably do it just in case.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, like I really pick and choose. And I feel like my work has gotten better because of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I'm kind of filtering out the average or poor work, and then I'm really capturing the ones that I think that stand out. That's nice. But again, everyone's different. Like I think some people probably still, if they're in the same skill level as me, they'll probably still just shoot quite a lot. I think whatever works for you is obviously ideal. But for me, I definitely, looking back, like I wouldn't want to go back to the way I was shooting before. It was just very inefficient, and I felt very unsure of myself when I was shooting because I would shoot so much, and I'm like, well, what do I actually like shooting? Like I can't just shoot everything all the time. Like I really got to pick my moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much how I go about it.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, I think that's going to take us out actually. So we're going to get set up for the next stream, guys. If you are in chat, if you're watching live, please stick around. We're going to be back with TK North in just 15 minutes. and we'll be, chatting more photography, which is going to be fantastic. Moses, thank you so much for joining us on Adobe Live. It's been awesome, like getting to know you and getting to know your work.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. No, this was pretty fun. I'm glad I could show a bit of my work, a bit of my background, and appreciate you guys having me. This was really cool.
That was awesome. Well, like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back very shortly. Hope you can join us then. Check out Moses's links in the bottom of this live stream, and you can check it out, and you can go follow him if you don't already. Thanks again, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks again, Moses.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.